All right. So, um, today I wanted to talk about having fun as an adult or the lack thereof, rather. So, when you're a child and a silly goofball, you can do whatever you want, and somehow it always turns out to be like this adventure, and everything is fun, and everything feels like super adventurous and crazy and whatnot. Um, yeah, in recent years, I've started to realize that like what I consider to be fun becomes like more and more clear and abstract to me, because what is fun? Okay, like fun is probably something that makes you feel good, right? Something that makes the happy hormones in your brain go brrr or something. Uh, and you know, for example, today, I sat in my room today, all day, which happens a lot. Um, and I decided, you know what, I'm gonna play some games of chess because I got nothing better to do, and I used to play chess a lot when I was younger, but not anymore. And I was like, why not just play a game of chess? Because I wanted to play something, and download. I don't have any games on my laptop really because it's a fucking laptop, and every little bit of storage space is like precious to me. So I don't really have a lot of games, um, and I'm too lazy to like always install a game when I feel like it. Obviously, um, so I played some chess, and I played it for like 1 or 2 hours. Um, I don't know if that's like an ADHD thing, but like I don't really like time passes like really weirdly for me. For the record, I don't know if I have ADHD. I've never been to like a psychologist or something. Who knows? I might be carrying around like all kinds of undiagnosed shit with me, but I do actually think that I have ADHD because yeah, I just uh, show a lot of symptoms. But anyway, um, so I played it for like a while, and afterwards I felt kind of worse than when I started, which kind of made me think like, did I have fun doing this, playing chess? I mean, because if I was having fun, then shouldn't I feel like better afterwards, or at least not worse? Um, so what about in the moment? Did I really have fun playing chess? It doesn't seem to be so clear to me, and yeah, it's basically the story of my life in a sense that I don't really understand anymore what is fun to me. Like when I was a child, it was like so easy. I could literally pick up anything and I would just have fun. And now it's like I have to like kind of force myself to have fun or something, or like push myself. Like, hey, this is fun, right? Right? This is fun. Um, like for example, another example would be when I go out, right? That's like something that people would consider to be fun, but oftentimes I catch myself like not really having fun. So if you're not having fun in the moment and you're feeling worse afterwards, then it's like not fun, right? I mean, if I go drinking, then it's obvious that I'm gonna feel worse afterwards when I'm like, uh, shit faced and hungover the next day, right? But even then, like, or when I'm not drinking as well, like I'm oftentimes when I hang out with people, and this is not meant to sound like, oh, this is. I hope this doesn't come across as like disrespectful to people who spend time with me, because I do appreciate people spending time with me, but nevertheless, I have to say that oftentimes, like, if I'm hanging out with people or like talking to people, I'm just kind of, um, we will talk about something or whatever, and then in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, I'm not really having fun right now. It's yeah, it's kind of weird. And then when we say our goodbyes or whatever, I've talked about this in another video. Then I'm just like flooded with like uh, loneliness and thinking, wow, I'm feeling like more shit now than before because now I'm lonely again, right? Um, and it's kind of like, yeah, like I said, I don't really understand myself anymore in a sense of like what do I consider to be fun? Because it feels like when I go out, for example, it seems like my brain is kind of telling me like, hey, you haven't interacted with someone in a while. It's probably a good idea to go out and do something, right? Which probably is the case because if you don't go out for a while, then you kind of become like a little unhinged, right? It's not good for you to be alone for a while, and actually can attest to that because when I'm alone for like a long period of time, like I can do it, right? I can do it, and I've done it, but I can feel myself like gradually getting more unhinged in a way, and like when I have like negative thoughts keep kind of like collapsing into each other, and it's like when you have someone to distract yourself, and you're not left alone with your thoughts, it's like easier to not, I don't know, like it's not always bad to be alone. Obviously, I don't want to bring up that discussion now, but yeah, the point is that when I'm thinking to myself like, hey, I should probably go outside so I don't like, so I'm not just alone the entire time because that's also not great. Um, so yeah, that's why I tell myself, hey, you should probably go out now, which then I do, but afterwards I'm kind of wondering like, was this like really beneficial for me in a sense? Like, was I really having fun? And I've got to say, one of the one of the few things to me that where I'm feeling better afterwards than before is like physical activity and going to the gym, right? Like when I'm after I go to the gym, I pretty much almost always feel better afterwards. So does that mean that the gym is fun to me? Like I mean, like lifting weights is kind of painful in a way. So I don't know if I would really describe it as fun. But if I'm feeling better afterwards, I guess it's fun. But what about the other way around? Like when I go out drinking, for example, and I'm having fun in the moment, but not fun afterwards because afterwards I will feel like shit or whatever. Like which is more fun? The thing that's fun in the moment but shit afterwards, or the thing that is shit in the moment and fun good afterwards or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to be like too sounding too much like an depressed adult. Like, oh, look at me, boo hoo, I can't have fun anymore. But it really feels like I don't know. Maybe it was always like that, and I just didn't really pick up on it. But when you're playing a video game, for example, right? Like I often find myself, especially like these days, when I play games, um, it doesn't really feel again like fun anymore. It feels like I'm forcing myself to do something and to occupy my mind, and afterwards I'm feeling worse, right? Like for example, I played like Doom Eternal, which is like a great game, but when I feel like it, I always feel like I have to force myself to play it, and I don't really play it for that long, only for like half an hour, and afterwards I'm feeling kind of worse than before. I'm like, was that really fun? Like, why did I spend this time playing this game? Maybe it's also a sense of guilt, maybe, um, that I feel like, oh, I could have done something more productive, right? Um, yeah, that's also something that is important, I think, because maybe it's just how my mind is kind of like coordinated now, that I feel like things that are fun have to like do something for me, right? But even then, like that doesn't really. Um, s- I mean, for example, if I learn something for like uni or whatever, or could be something else like a language or whatever, right? Um, I wouldn't really describe the process itself necessarily as fun, but afterwards I will feel better afterwards at least. But I again, I think this is like me just, or my brain just thinking, hey, you did something that was like useful, that is gonna be useful in some way or another. Therefore, here you get some, some happy hormones now because you did your task, you did well. Here you go. Now you're feeling a bit better. But yeah, it kind of sucks because I would just rather, you know, be like a child again and do something that is not useful in any way, any way whatsoever. Like playing just like a random video game, and just having fun in the moment. But like I said, I always feel when I try to do something like that, I always feel guilty in a sense. Um, that I'm like wasting my time or whatever. Same with like, I guess with hanging out with people also, maybe in the sense that like um, when I'm meeting new people, I feel like okay, like I'm making new connections or whatever. So maybe I'm doing something that serves a purpose or whatever. But when I'm hanging out with people that I already know, and we're just doing the same things, or like just casually hanging out like always. Um, that's when I feel like like hmm, this is really like this doesn't really serve a purpose, I guess. I mean, which sounds stupid, why would you gamify human relationships like that? At the end of the day, when you're hanging out with good friends of yours, you know, that's a good thing, right? Is that shouldn't be considered a bad thing, obviously, but to me, it always feels like I'm, yeah, I'm kind of. That sounds kind of harsh, but I'm wasting my time and I'm doing something uh, not productive when I could do something productive. But again, the other side of the coin is that when I do something productive, that doesn't really make it fun. It makes it more like I feel obligated to do something, and because I've done that thing, I'm feeling better because of that. But you know, it's like a different thing than fun, I believe. Like and if I go to the fucking dentist or whatever, and he cleans my teeth, then afterwards I will be like, hey, great, I've done that. I'm feeling uh, I'm feeling better now at least. Good for me. But you wouldn't really call a visit to the dentist fun because of that, right? Like you're feeling better afterwards because you've done your obligation, but I don't know, it's like people always say to live in the moment, right? So how does that compute? Doesn't really make sense then. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't. Why is it so hard to have fun as an adult? Am I just miserable? Am I just is my mind just occupied with like other things that make it harder for me to focus on the moment? Um, which I guess also plays a role, like drinking, for example, right? When I was like 15 or whatever, or like 15, 16, 17, um, I could like drink a lot and binge drink a lot, and that was fun. And my mind wouldn't be like occupied with like responsibilities, like I'm getting super drunk today, but tomorrow there's like something I have to take care of or whatever. Which to be fair, I don't really have much responsibilities right now either because I'm just a dumb college student. Um, but yeah, like at some point I started to think like, okay, like I could drink a lot now, but it's probably gonna I'm probably gonna make a fool of myself. It's probably gonna be expensive. I'm probably gonna feel like shit for tomorrow the entire day. So I would just rather not do it. Um, but when I was younger, it was more like, yeah, like who cares? Like I'm just gonna do it because I have the opportunity to do so now. I'm just gonna have fun right now, I guess. You know. But yeah, do you really need to get shit faced to have fun? Maybe I need to because I haven't really been drinking recently at all. Actually, yeah, I haven't really drank a lot since the last, not just for the last few weeks, for like the last, I don't know, year, or yeah, maybe like the last year or so. I've drank like the least amount of alcohol since I was like 15. Like when I was 15 until like 20 or whatever, not even 20, like until like 19. Like when I became 20, it already started to slowly get a little bit less, I feel. But the point being that the last year I've been drinking a lot less, which, sounds like a good thing, right? Drinking less alcohol is obviously better for you, I guess. But yeah, I guess drinking was kind of fun. I don't want to sound like a relapsing alcoholic, but I guess drinking is kind of fun. And when I don't drink these days, you know, it feels like you don't have to pay a price. Obviously, if you don't drink so much, you don't have to pay a price the next day. But it's also a lot less interesting. But is that like, you know, I guess when you drink enough alcohol, everything is kind of interesting. But is that really a good way to go about it? Like, do you really have to use like a literal toxin, a toxic substance to numb your body and mind to have fun and let loose? Sounds like kind of a bad idea, but maybe that's how adults do it. I guess like maybe adults can have fun without alcohol or something. I don't fucking know. But yeah, when I was younger, I always, you know, it sounds weird, but like at some point I realized that like, wait, what do adults actually do to have fun? Like apart from like maybe alcohol, right? But when you're a child, you play video games, for example, and that's fun. Obviously, you can play games as an adult as well, but I already explained that games, for some reason, in the moment, doesn't really do it for me anymore. So I kind of realized, like, so what do adults actually do to have fun, right? uh, and yeah, it's a question I've been thinking about because, you know, there are certain activities that I do like to do, I guess, yeah, but um, yeah, these days it feels like more and more things I do are just, yeah, not fun or obligations, in a sense, and not really something where I can really feel like in the moment, oh, I'm having the time of my life. It's more like, yeah, I'm gonna do that thing because I don't really have another option right now, or because maybe I guess I should just do it, and then I just do it, and then I'm thinking, huh, yeah, I mean that was better than nothing, I guess. Um, yeah, I think we're gonna end it here. Bottom line is, I don't know how to have fun anymore. But hey, I guess these videos are kind of fun. Now that I think about it, just talking about things that come to my mind, just like that. I guess it's kind of fun in a way. So yeah, better than nothing, I guess. Anyway, see you.